We're here with Todd Pennington of the Buckeye Valley Lady Barons, and the coach are currently 19-1 and 13-1, I believe, in league play. So welcome to Inside Hoops. We're going to try to find out a little bit about you. So let's first of all talk a little bit about your background, and maybe I think it's always interesting for our audience to kind of hear where you played at high school. And I know that it led to a really good college career. So maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I went to Kent Ridge High School in Springfield. Guy, the story goes, I was actually cut as a freshman. And then I was like the last player on the JV team as a sophomore. Only played 1 year of varsity basketball in high school. Good program. And I just had to keep working. I was young, graduated 17, but had a really good senior year, started and got some recognition, and then actually walked on at Cedarville my freshman year, and just kept growing, kept getting better as a player, and ended up starting my last 2 years there as team captain my senior year. Kind of broke some three-point shooting records, and the rest is history.
That's a great story. I mean, for kids to hear it, especially today, because we have so many kids, I think, that just kind of give up afterwards.
Yeah, I use it a lot in our youth camps and stuff, talking about it, because you just never know.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tremendous story. So after your playing career, you begin your coaching career, and so talk about where you started coaching, and then how that eventually led to this job here at Buckeye Valley.
Yeah, so I spent after a year just in the work world. The head coach at Mount Vernon Nazarene at the time, he was coaching my brother actually, and told me about a place called United States Sports Academy to get my master's degree in sports management. And that kind of started everything off, because it was 2 summers, and then I spent the year in between at Mount Vernon being his assistant coach and assistant athletic director, and that kind of got the whole thing started. Then I spent a couple years out in Illinois just doing at a small private school. But then I came back to Springfield and actually coached at Kent Ridge. Spent like 6 years there coaching the boys, doing JV. Then we actually moved back here. I'm originally from Columbus, and having 2 girls, we moved back here. And then when my oldest was in 3rd grade, I kind of started coaching the travel, the COBA stuff. And then she really got interested in, I started coaching her AAU, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, all the way up till she was a senior. We started a program called Ohio Surge, and loved doing it. About every kid I had went on to play some form of college basketball, just really teach them fundamentals. And then I was out of it a couple years before I kind of got the call to come back here, or come here. The guy that was the coach before me coached my daughter at Olentangy and asked me to help. And I actually, the first year, took his 8th grade team, which are now my seniors, and really enjoyed that. And some circumstances happened, and he left, and I got the job here, and been the head coach the last 4 years.
So you took a team, I think, that you had mentioned kind of in the bio that you sent me, that had won 29 games the previous 4 years. You come in, you win 15 games, then you win back-to-back league championship and won a district championship a year ago. Win 24 games, which is a school record. Talk a little bit about the philosophy you tried to bring to this program, and then the culture that you tried to build here.
Yeah, so when I first took over, I looked at it, and I had kind of a 2-year plan and a 4-year plan. The 2-year plan was that first group I had, we had no seniors. And I had 4 great juniors, Emily, Carly, Hazley, and Molly, that, to their credit, totally bought into what I was trying to do. And that first year was really mainly focused on fundamentals between them all the way down through the entire program, of building the fundamental base first. And like you said, we won 15. The goal was to double that. They had won 12 the 2 years before total, and we wanted to win at least 12, got that 15. And then everybody came back that next year, and we were able to win 23 that year. And those 2 years, 23, 24, we had won 31 league games in a row, which carried over into this year. Before we finally got beat, we had won 42 league games in a row. Really, from the get-go, it's been, you see it on our shooting shirt, effort, attitude and defense. That's where everything starts. Has to start with your effort. Build it through fundamentals, and then just play hard. Our defense has been outstanding. Really, if you did a look, we've the last 2 years we've been either 1 or number 2 in the whole state of Ohio in our division in points per game given up, and that's where it starts. We can always win if we always play defense.
Yeah, and I in my coaching thing, I think one of the terms we used was that the two things you can control every day are effort and attitude. You're not always going to get the result you want, but if you have great effort, great attitude, eventually you're going to get to those results. So you talked a little bit about your philosophy, you talked about your background. Are there any coaches either that have kind of influenced you that maybe you coached under, or even take it to that are there any like college coaches that you kind of said, hey, I like what they do, and kind of watch them and model your program after that?
Yeah, so we still run some of the things that my high school coach had us run.
Which was who?
His name was Bill Smith.
Okay.
And he was the main first coach at Ken Ridge, and had a great career. A lot of his philosophies I still do. And then really the guy that I studied a lot when I was kind of going into girls basketball with AAU and things was I really study and admire and just totally look up to Gino Uriema at UConn. We run a lot of the stuff. Not as good as they were.
Yeah. Well, concept. He's got some pretty good players that run it too.
Yeah, exactly. So we really do a lot of the things that he does, and I just really study him all the time, even now, to see what he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, I think any coach studies him, because a lot of the stuff he says, I've heard him talk about. One of the things they look at, they film is like how their bench is. Like, are you involved in the game, or are you just sitting there? So yeah, he is a tremendous guy. Your coaching journey, you coach at some different levels. You coach both boys and girls. What do you enjoy most about coaching?
If I could just come out here and do practice every day, I'd love it. I mean, the teaching of it, the teaching of the game, the philosophies, and watching kids grow as players, get better as they, I say it all the time, every kid is better when they leave here than when they walked in the door as a freshman. And I just love doing that. I love coaching. I love teaching and seeing the kids improve.
Kind of flip it. We talked a little bit about before this interview about maybe maybe not what do you like least about coaching, or maybe phrase it also, what's maybe the hardest part of coaching today?
Yeah, I could go some different ways here, but when I really thought about that, and this is going to sound crazy, but I don't like the games. I am such a competitor.
Yep.
I just drive myself crazy the day of a game, think, what did I miss? What did I, and I just kind of get myself in a knot before the game.
Mm-hmm.
Never was that way as a player. I was, kind of always said I was just like nothing ever bothered me. But that whole day up to a game, I just worry myself to death of what I'm doing.
Yeah, people have asked me, this is I think my 5th year being retired, and they said, what do you miss? And I said, one of the things I don't miss is just that feeling in your stomach, and it doesn't make any difference of who you play. And that's why I've always had a hard time, like when I see it, I go to do games now and I see a coach like eating popcorn or eat something before a game. I'm like, I could never do that.
Not do that.
Well, you had a really special season last year. I mean, that had to be special, and you returned to a group that's kind of really continued that tradition. So as you look at this year's team, what do you really like about this team so far this year?
Yeah, this has been an interesting one. I don't know if I would have predicted before the year that we'd do 19-1 right now. We had a season last year where, it was great, but we kind of relied on one kid, Ella Hazelrig, that, really did a lot of our scoring for us, and we kind of built it around her. So coming into this year, we had to kind of see who was going to be that step up to now have to score.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a little bit of a process, but we're starting to get some kids that are putting the thing together. And, the beginning of the year was tough because our volleyball team went to the state championship. So we only had 2 weeks together to prepare for the season. And then we played like 5 games in 2 weeks. So we're like, just figure out a way to win, and then we'll build it from there. And as the season's progressed, you've seen some kids get more confident. And now, we took it on the chin the other night, but we got them back here coming up.
Yep, myself.
And make some adjustments and see what happens, see if we can somehow knock them off and be coach amps for a third year.
And that's here at home.
Yeah, let's hear
that game against Columbus Academy.
We just kind of got out of whack that game right from the get-go and didn't play our ball, and so it's been interesting. It's been challenging, but it's been fun to see these kids really just again buying in. I think part of it's fourth year of the system. We haven't had to like reinstall anything. It's kind of just been a flow through and adjust to what this team is, but it's been good.
Well, we interviewed Lena, also, and I don't know how I phrased the question, but it was like, that she's been a part. And I said, like, what turned this around? She goes, coach has made it important, that it's become important, that basketball's important. And I think that says a lot about what you've been able to do here, kind of in a short time, just 4 years, and have the success you have. So, as part of the OH report, it's always fun for me to come around and talk to coaches. Appreciate you being a part of Inside Hoops today.
Well, I appreciate you coming out and giving us some public publicity, because we're kind of up here all by ourselves.
So it's good. It's good. This job has allowed me to kind of go around the area and see, and it's always interesting to see practices and how coaches are organized. So wish you the best of luck as you finish up the season and begin the tournament.
All right, thank you.
The Lady Bears have just one more regular season game remaining on Monday, when they try to avenge their only loss of the season against Columbus Academy. A win secures Buckeye Valley their third consecutive league title, but the team also has huge playoff goals as they seek a second straight trip to the regionals after winning a program record 24 games last year.